Hello, everybody. I am going to be reading a book every night to you titled Clementine. This book is by Sara Pennypacker, and the pictures are by Marla Frazee. Oops. It'll take me a little practice to get used to this. I might move the camera just a little bit. Okay. This is an AR book, and it is 4.5 and is worth 2 points. So if you are taking AR quizzes, you will be able to do that after we are done reading this book together. So I am going to go ahead and go to chapter 1. And on chapter 1, we have Clementine sitting in a chair. I'm going to go ahead and read to you. Chapter 1. I have had not so good of a week. Well, Monday was a pretty good day. If you don't count hamburger surprise as lunch and Margaret's mother coming to get her. Or the stuff that happened in the principal's office when I got sent there to explain that Margaret's hair was not my fault, and besides, she looks okay without it. But I couldn't, because Principal Rice was gone, trying to calm down Margaret's mother. Someone should tell you not to answer the phone in the principal's office if that's a rule. Okay, fine. Monday was not so good of a day. Which was a surprise because it started out with 2 lucky signs, which fooled me. First, there were exactly enough banana slices in my cereal, one for every spoonful. Then, as soon as I got to school, my teacher said, the following students are excused from journal writing so they can go to the art room to work on their Welcome to the Future projects. And I was one of those students. So instead of having to think up things to write in my journal, which I hate, I got to glue and paint stuff, which I love. Margaret was in the art room too. When I sat next to her, she threw herself across the princess from the future mask she was gluing sparkles onto. Remember the rules, she warned. Margaret is in 4th grade and I am in 3rd. She thinks that makes her the boss of me. I hate Margaret's rules. You can't touch my stuff, she said, which she always says. Why, I said, which I always say. Because it's the rule, said Margaret, which she always says. Why, I said. Because you can't touch my stuff, she said. And then I pointed out the window, which wasn't exactly lying, because I didn't say there was something there. And then there is a picture of the 2 girls doing artwork. While Margaret was looking out the window, I accidentally touched her mask. Twice. Okay, fine. Then I got busy working on my project so I wouldn't have to hear any Clementine pay attention. Except I did anyways, which was unfair because each time I was the only person in the whole art room who was paying attention, which is why I could tell everyone right in the middle of the Pledge of Allegiance that the lunchroom lady was sitting in the janitor's car and they were kissing again. No one else saw this disgusting scene because no one else was paying attention out the window. And after that, when it was my turn to pass around the stapler, I could tell everyone that the art teacher's scarf had an egg stain on it that looked, if you squinted exactly like a pelican, which nobody else had noticed. Clementine, you need to pay attention, the art teacher said one more time. And just like the other times, I was paying attention. I was paying attention to Margaret's empty seat. Margaret had been excused to go to the girls' room. And when she left, she had scrunched up don't cry eyes and pressed down don't cry mouth. And she had been gone a really long time, even for Margaret, who washes her hands one finger at a time. I don't go to the girls' room, I told my teacher. And that's where Margaret was, all right, curled up under the sink with her head in her knees. Margaret, I gasped, you're sitting on the floor. Margaret hitched herself over to the side a little so I could see. She placed a germ protective layer of paper towel under her. Still, I said, what's the matter? Margaret pressed her head down harder into her knees, which were all shiny with tears. She pointed up, lying on the sink next to a pair of do not remove from the art room scissors, was a chunk of straight brown hair. Oh, came out Margaret. I said, come out, Margaret, I said. Let me see. Margaret shook her head. I'm not coming out until it's grown back. Well, I think I see a germ crawling on your dress. Margaret jumped out from under the sink. She looked at herself in the mirror and began to cry again. I got glue in my hair, she sobbed. I was just trying to cut it out. Margaret's hair was halfway down her back, long. It was hard not to notice that the whole part over her left ear was missing. She is with her hair missing. Maybe if we evened up a chunk over your right ear, I suggested. Margaret wiped her eyes dry and nodded. She handed me the scissors. I cut. We looked back in the mirror. It's like bangs. I tried to cheer her up. Sort of, except bangs are in the front. Your front hair, not the sides, Margaret reminded me. Then she took a deep sigh, picked up the scissors, and cut off all the hair over her forehead. Now the front of her hair was all chopped off, and the back half was long and straight and shiny. Not so good, Margaret said, looking in the mirror. Not so good, I agreed. We looked at her not so good hair in the mirror for a really, really long time without saying anything, which is very hard for me. Then Margaret's bottom lip began to shiver, and her eyes filled with tear balls again. She handed the scissors back to me, and then she closed her eyes and turned around. All of it, I asked. All of it. So I did, which is not exactly easy with those plastic art scissors, let me tell you. And just as I was finishing, the art teacher came in looking for us. Clementine, she shouted, what are you doing? And then Margaret went all hysterical, and the art teacher went all hysterical, and nobody could think of anything to do except the regular thing, which is send me to the principal. While I was waiting there, I drew a picture of Margaret with her chopped off hair. I made her look beautiful like a dandelion. Here is a picture of that. I'll show you the picture real quick here. If they had a special class for gifted kids in art, I would definitely be in it. But they don't, which is also unfair, only for math and English. I am not so good at English. Okay, fine. But this year, I am in the gifted class for math. And here is the bad surprise. So far, not gifted. I told Principal Rice about the problem when she got back from calming down Margaret's mother. So far, no gifts, I told her, extremely politely. Principal Rice rolled her eyes to the ceiling then, like she was looking for something up there. Ceiling snakes, maybe, just waiting to drip on you. That's what I used to be afraid of when I was little anyways. Now I am not afraid of anything. Okay, fine. I'm afraid of pointy things. But that is all. And boomerangs. Clementine, you need to pay attention, said Principal Rice. We need to discuss Margaret's hair. What are you doing on the floor? Helping you look for ceiling snakes, I reminded her. Ceiling snakes? What ceiling snakes? She asked. See what I mean? Me paying attention? Everybody else not. I am amazed they let someone with this problem be the boss of a school. All right, now, Clementine, Principal Rice said in her I'm trying to be patient, but it's getting harder voice. Why did you cut off Margaret's hair? I'm helping. I was helping, I said. And then I told Principal Rice about how I'd helped her too. I answered the phone while you were gone. I ordered some new school pots, and I told the gym teacher we are never going to play dodgeball again. And I made 2 appointments for you. The phone kept going dead, so I guess it's busted. But at least I helped you a little. That's what I thought. There is a look they teach a person to make in principal school that is not very nice. And here's the principal making that face at Clementine. That is the end of chapter 1. So, what do you think Clementine should have done when she was in the bathroom with Margaret? Should she have been helping her with the hair? What suggestions would you given to somebody if they were in the bathroom and had cut their own hair? Well, I will see you tomorrow. Have a good night.